People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Now the first thing that is popping in the news is that we see that the P0l, they are investigating what they call a cold case. And people, usually when one talks about a cold case, they are speaking about a case that is maybe about a couple of decades, at least 1 decade old. However, in Jamaica, it seems as if it is different, because based on the information that is out there, it is that the bodies that were found were actually deemed to be maybe about 3 years ago. So therefore they were dumped about 3 years ago in a place called Waterloo Close. We are speaking about Spanish Town, which is kind of ironic, because people like them say whenever you mess with the mob, whenever you mess with the gangsters, you are always going to face your Waterloo. So people like them say, you mess with the mob, you play with the gun, or you live by the gun, you basically die by the gun. Or even sometimes some persons are a victim, and basically cross the gangsters and them get wiped out. Now, based on the information that is out there, it is said that at least 2 bodies were found in a shallow grave. Now, people, this place, or they said in the news, according to the news, it is said that a mass grave. Now, when we consider a mass grave, we consider body on top of body. May I talk about at least 10 or 20. However, in this case, like them say, 2 is better than too many. That means that the least that we find is the better for the families that are out there, families of the victim.
Reactivating the court case concept. When we look at, for example, the conviction of TESHA Miller, the offense committed somewhere 2010, I think it was, and he was arrested in 2018 and convicted in 2019. That's one of the cold cases that we actually pursued. And there are a number that we have. There are several cases that we have under review as I speak. I won't get into those details, but as soon as we make the breakthrough, then we will, speak about them. Based on our investigation, we are looking at a murder and anti-gang, and we believe that we will be able to charge individuals for these once the bodies have been identified. And we have to go through the process of scientific means, DNA, to identify who these individuals are. I don't want to get into the details, but I'm very confident, because as I said, it's an investigation, and based on those investigations, we are led to the area. And we're exploiting all the various resources that we have within the JCF.
So based on what the commanding officer, or the officer that was in charge of the operation, I am speaking about Assistant Commissioner of P0l, Fitz Bailey. Based on what he is saying, he found 4 FEMA. So people, when you talk about 4 FEMA and you do the maths, 2 FEMA per person, that means a 4 FEMA, we are talking about 2 persons. And if you don't know, the FEMA is the bone that is in the leg. We are talking about that big bone. They also said that they found other body parts. So I guess the ribs and the spine, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. And these were found in one shallow grave. So we are talking about 2 people in a one shallow grave. And they did this by basically excavating the place with some sort of backhoe. The Assistant Commissioner of P0l also divulged that based on the conditions of the bone, they can only come to the speculation or assumption based on what the forensic experts are saying, I guess based on the condition of the body, based on the deterioration, based on the climate. We are speaking about the water, we are talking about the soil, we are talking about the humidity, all sort of stuff. They came to a logical conclusion that the bodies or the remains of these persons have been there for about 3 years. So people, it seems like the P0l have some sort of information. It seems as if they have a case that they are so excited about. People, I will let you know further on in the news. The Assistant Commissioner also said that based on his intelligence, based on his information, he believed that this grave site, this burial site, is associated with one of the notorious gangs in Jamaica. We are talking about KLANSMAN. And people, when you talk about KLANSMAN, you are speaking about Spanish Town. And who are the rivals for the KLANSMAN? We are speaking about the one order. So people, are these 2 remain belonging to persons coming from one order? People, let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, based on what the assistant commissioner is saying, when they went on the site, he was expecting to find way more than 3 bodies. Now, people, are 3 remains. Now, people, based on that information, it seems that them get some sort of credible information. So, is this a person that is looking for some sort of plea deal? Is this an ex-gangster that basically turn a rat or a snitch? People, make me know what you think. I am just telling you what the P0l, the top cop, I am speaking about the person that is in charge of the operation is saying. What type of information do you think that he have? Based on the report, it is also said that the P0l search team, they were on the site from about 5 a.m. I am speaking about Tuesday morning. And people, when we listen to that, it is a very long time because it went way in the evening part. I talk about maybe about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. So I have to kind of hope that Jamaica has all of the tools that they need. I am speaking about search dogs because people, it would have made it very much easier. That's what I am trying to say. Now, it is also said that the search area is very large and they got the assistance from the JDF. I am speaking about the Jamaica Defense Force, and they had to come with some sort of backhoe and all sort of tractor and trailer to clear the area. And it is said that the investigation continues into today, which is Wednesday. So people, we are speaking about an operation that is taking a very long time. We are talking about in excess of a day or 2. So people, what are they looking for? Is there some sort of information? Because people, tell you the truth, when I listen to the voice of the assistant commissioner, he sounds excited. He sounds as if he has some groundbreaking information that he is not divulging. He sounds as if he knows that there is some sort of big case. May I talk about some high profile case that might be unfolding here? People, let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, people, like I said, it seems like the police have some proper investigation. They have some proper information. Sorry. It seems as if they have credible information, and the person that is telling them the information, it seems like he knows the ins and out of the KLANSMAN, because people, this P0l officer, he is speaking definitively. He is speaking like him know, like him they did it. And he said based on his investigation, he knows, he has a possible idea of who the identity of these persons are. However, he is relying on the forensic identification we are talking about DNA to automatically or ultimately determine who these bodies are. So people, like me say, there is something into something, and wherever there is smoke, there is always fire. So therefore, people, we can expect to hear some sort of information in the near future. The report also indicated that this is not the first or the second time that the P0l investigators went to that Waterloo site. It is said that they've been there on several different occasions. On one occasion, them find some shoes, some undergarment, all sort of stuff associated with somebody, associated with a victim. So people, we see that they have a vested interest. In this case, we see that they are getting credible information. We see that somebody is talking. We are talking about somebody from the KLANSMAN or the one order. So people, it seems like somebody is snitching. It seems like one side is turning against the next side. People, may not know. I am just speculating based on the information that is out there. Point blank and period. The Assistant Commissioner of P0l also divulged that this is not the first time, this is the second time that they are finding bodies on that same location in about 2 months. And people, if we remember, last month they found 4 bodies in a place called Sandy Gully. We are speaking about in St. Andrew. So people, it seems like the saying is true. Gunmen, we are talking about gangsters, they are killing people and flinging them in some shallow grave. So people, we have to ask the question, where are the dogs? Where are the search dogs on operations like this? Is Jamaica that lacking? Is Jamaica P0l force that negligent or irresponsible that they don't have that sort of assistance? And people, it is not so hard. It is not complicated. It is not rocket science. Point blank and period. So people, the moral of the story is this. Based on the information from ACP, or Assistant Commissioner of P0l, we're speaking about Fitz-Bailey. It is obvious that they are planning to reactivate the cold case squad we are speaking about in the P0l force. And this is related to the 2 bodies that were found. So people, what was happening before, it seems as if all those other cases in the past, them just basically sweep them under the rug. And people, that is very disturbing. And like you hear the top cop saying, he has information, he has credible information that he suspect that this location is being used by gang members to basically dash where we are speaking about their victims of murder. So people, we see that Spanish Town is a very serious place. So when we speak about Spanish Town, we are speaking about 2 of the most notorious gangs in the history of Jamaica. We are talking about KLANSMAN, we are speaking about One Order. We are talking about TESHA, we are talking about Blackman, Rete, Lele, Blue, Blah, Bling. And like you also heard the top cop say, based on yesterday's finding, based on the bodies that were discovered, once them do the DNA, we are speaking about the forensic, they are going to be laying charges. So people like me say, it seems like somebody has snitched. It seems like the gang leaders are turning against each other. Point blank and period. So anyways people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine, but let me know what you think in the comment section.